You have tuned in to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cookall. As always, it is my honor and my pleasure to come and share some tips, some tools with you that I know will assist you in becoming a better you. Today is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day because we had the opportunity to take in a deep breath, open our eyes, and see a new day. Regardless of what you had to face today, regardless of the aches and the pains that might have reminded you that they are still here when you first woke up this morning, because sometimes when you get a certain age, you might feel a little ache, you might feel a little pain, you might be sick, you might be going through some things, and so you might have first been alerted in the morning by a feeling of, whatever it is that you're going through. But I want you to push that all aside today. I want you not to think about what woke you up, as far as if it was something negative, if it was a feeling or sickness or alarm clock that you're so sick of hearing the same sound, the same tone, the same music, but you needed to get up every morning, so you continue to let it to play. Regardless of all of the different scenarios that I can mention that might fit your situation that woke you up this morning, I want you to think about the fact that you did wake up this morning, and what a blessing that is, because the way I always look at a new day, I always look at a new day as a new opportunity. I always look at a new day as a new chance. That's why we always emphasize the word reset on this podcast, because every day you're like one step closer to the change, one step closer to being a better you, a healthier you. Every day we're learning. Every day we are evolving. Hopefully, every day you are gaining new territory and new ground to become a better you. We're never perfect. We will never figure it all out. We will never have it all. But we are every day pursuing and pressing towards becoming a better you, a better me. And that's so important, because I am a life learner. Like, for the rest of my life, I feel that I will always be in a position, or put myself in a position to learn. You never know everything. There's something to learn every day. My children have taught me things. My elders have taught me things. My spouse have taught me things. Engaging conversation with strangers in a store has taught me things. So we can always learn from each other. We can always learn from life and life's lessons. So I want you to not think about, all of the things that you have to do, all the things that you've gone through, today already. I want you to think about, number one, what a blessing it is that you woke up this morning. What a blessing it is that you were able to take that deep breath in and open your own, eyes and, see, a new day, a new opportunity, or just being able to be alert enough to have a new day or in a new opportunity to do what? Reset, to gain ground. Every day that you are blessed and fortunate enough to wake up, you should have a mindset of gaining new territory. Let me say this. Some of the most fascinating stories that I've, ever seen that always, make me think about, you can definitely do it. You can definitely keep going. It's people who have experienced such drastic tragedies. They might have lost limbs, or, were born without limbs, or just really tragic thing might have happened in their life, accidents or whatever. And then you see them do some incredible things that normally, would take strength with limbs, or, different things to accomplish. But they take what they got. This is my point. They take what they got and they work it. They take what they got and they work it. When I always use that scenario of taking what you have and working it. I've always been that type of person. I always stem this understanding and this perspective from looking at our Creator and how God took nothing and made something out of it. It was void. Everything was void, but He made something out of it. So I think about, we complain about what we don't have. We complain about the little bit that we have, and we make all these excuses. We don't have enough. If I had this, then I can do that. If I was to put in this situation or this scenario, then I can do that. We make all these excuses about why we can't accomplish things, or why we can't get things done, or why we're not at this level in our life that we might want, but we see someone else is there. And the reality of it is, if you take what you have, take whatever you have and work that, then you would gain more ground. You would gain more territory. That is so important to me. That's so important to me, for you to understand that it doesn't always take much. It doesn't always take a lot for you to get things done. You take what you have, whatever gifts that you have, whatever talent that you have, whatever strength that you have, whatever reach that you have. You take that and you work that. Don't compare yourself to others, but take what you have, all of the talent, all the gifts, all of the platform or reach, or, individuals that you have in your life. You take that and you work that. Don't make excuses for yourself, saying what you can't do, what you can't accomplish. Saying that this person have been forwarded all of the opportunities. That's why they are where they are. Let's not lie to ourselves. Let's not do that. Let's be really honest with ourselves. Because the reality of it is that most people who are successful, they put in the work. They put in the work. It takes work to get where you want to get, even health wise, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, all of it. It takes work. For like the whole year last year, I avoided going and taking care of the things that I normally take care of for myself physically. All of the annuals and all of those things. I went like for one thing, but that was it. But I didn't take care of what I normally take care of. I pushed it off. And so I find myself now this year catching up, like making sure like within 2 months I'm catching up on all of the annual things that I have to take care of, because I have to take care of that physical. That is work. That is work. Every time I go into a physician office or a specialist office or whatever, it's like draining, right? Because you're trying to catch up and take care of everything that you need to take care of. But that's work. You put in work when we're dealing with different challenges in our lives, and those, who need to talk to other people, therapists or whatever, that's work. You're putting in work to become a better you, right? Those who have, agenda saying, my goal is to lose a certain amount of weight, right? Within a certain amount of period of time. You put in work to do that, right? You can't just sit back and say, I'm going to lose the weight. You have to actually make adjustments to your schedule, adjustments to your eating habits, adjustments to your workout method. These are things that we do because we put in the work, right? So to become a better you, I just hit the physical, I just hit the mental, I just hit all of it. Because in order for us to become the better you, the better me, we have to do what? Put in the work. To put in the work. You are valuable enough to go and get yourself checked out. Make sure your physical it's fine. You are valuable enough to make sure that you're emotionally healthy and stable. You are good enough to make sure that you are physically in the position that you need to be to sustain a healthy life, right? I made up in my mind years ago, and I tell myself this often to remind myself of my personal responsibility to myself, is that I just don't want to live, a life and say, well, I lived until 80, 90 years old, but have all these issues, all these complications, all these problems, but say that you live to 90, 80 years old, right? No. Not only do I want to live a long life, but I want to live a long, healthy life. A long, healthy, mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy life. That's my goal, is to do that. And it's so possible. It is so possible, but we have to do what? Put in the work. Put in the work. So today, I just really wanted to come on today and talk to you about making sure that you are putting in the work to make sure that you are looking at life at a healthy perspective. Make sure that you are taking care of your physical, your emotional health. Make sure you're taking care of all of it, because this is a new year. We've been through a whole lot in 2020 as a community. We've been through a lot. We've seen a lot, but we cannot ignore ourselves. We cannot ignore the signs that something is wrong, something is going, something is different about you. So you know your body. You spend time with you more than anybody, right? So you know if there's something that needs to be addressed, something that needs your attention. And like I said, I understand, for an entire year, I did not neglect, but I avoided. I avoided it because of me not necessarily wanting to run to hospitals and doctors' offices when there was a lot going on with COVID. So it was sort of my way of protecting myself. But as soon as January 2021 came, I had made up in my mind that everything that I need to take care of, it was going to be taken care of. That I had to catch up on everything. And thank God for His grace that sustained me in 2020. But I've always been a person who made sure that I took care of those particular things, because I grew up in a household where, the woman in our family, my mother, who, praise the Lord, is 76 and doing great. She has always done that. So it was something that I've always seen, and it was something that I knew it was important. She kind of emphasized that, how you take care of the physical. We trust God to keep us and to provide and watch over us and all this, but we have to do our part, So I always look at it like it's me giving God something to work with. Lord, I went and I took care of all the things I'm supposed to take care of, So it's up to you to take care of the rest, right? So it's just my way of saying, Lord, I'm trusting you, and by me doing my part. But I believe in us taking care of ourselves and doing what is necessary to be a better and a healthier individual, healthier person. And we're not just talking physical, but we're talking emotionally as well. So it's important that you just not look at the physical, but we're going to look at the emotional. We're going to make sure that we're not being overstressed. There's a lot. We talked about this last year a lot, about everything that we saw. We talked about all of the information that was constantly being poured into us, that was constantly drawing our attention. And so a lot of people didn't handle that very well, right? Well, it was overwhelming. It was very stressful. My suggestion to many was to turn off that television, ignore social media for a while, and not become engulfed into what we were seeing and what we were being exposed to 24/7. But the reality of it is that had an effect on people, right? That had an effect on people. So you might feel emotionally drained for 2021. You might feel, that it was a lot and you need some form of release. Okay, so what do we suggest? We suggest that if you need to talk, if you need to share, your thoughts with someone that you can trust, or a professional that you can trust, and do that. I definitely believe in that. You guys know, if you listen to my podcast, I do not believe in the stigmatism of, saying that in order for you to speak to a professional, you're not trusting God, you don't have faith, all this nonsense that I've heard in churches over the years when it comes to receiving mental health services. I'm totally against that. I believe that if you need someone to speak to, if you need help, then talk, share, release, let it go. We are human beings. We are designed to communicate. That's what we do. We need to communicate. We need to let it out. People are sitting in churches that are and they're going through. I've seen it my entire life where they are completely falling apart, and they're afraid to reach out to other resources because they've been told that if you reach out to someone outside of the church, you are not exercising faith, and you're not trusting God. I completely disagree. When you're sick, you go to the doctor. So it's the same thing for me. So I don't agree with that at all. So if you are a person who are listening to this and you are affiliated with any type of denomination and you need help, that you are having thoughts that's not normal, you're stressed out, you feel overwhelmed, you feel depressed, you feel like you are in a mental prison. That is the worst feeling in the world, to be in a mental prison. People who have been in physical prisons don't have to deal with the mental prison. The mental prison is the one that will kill you. So you might be feeling that, and you want to tell somebody, you want to share that, but you're afraid of someone, labeling you as something that you're not, making you feel worse than what you are, making you feel as if you're weak, making you feel as if you're not a Christian, making you feel as if you don't trust God, question your faith, question your position in church, your position in ministry, your position with God. Just questioning a whole lot of things that is not their business. You don't owe that to anybody. What you do owe is to yourself. You owe to yourself to be the best person that you can be. You owe it to yourself to be healed, to be free, to live again, right? That's what you owe. You owe that to yourself. We cannot change people's minds. We can't change their thoughts. We can't change their positions. We can't change their experience, their positions, their anything. We cannot change people. People are going to just be people. But when we know better, we do better. That's the reality. We know better, we do better. I have seen enough stories of pastors and ministers and preachers who committed suicide for the fact that they were depressed. So if you're telling me that you don't see that there is a need for release for individuals, that there is not a need for therapy, communication, sharing, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Everybody's not faithless. It takes faith to see that you need help and to reach out and get the help. That takes so much strength. Takes so much strength to see that you need help and actually follow through and get the help that you need. So I did not want to take up a lot of time today. I definitely did not want to do that today, but I just wanted to share something with you today that I felt that would be impactful, that would be helpful. I could go all day talking about the need to talk, the need to share, the need to release it, because I've had so many people come to me and just start spilling their guts because guess what? They need somebody. And I'm talking about strangers who would come and just build their whole life to me, and they don't know me. They don't know nothing about me personally, but there is such a need for people to release and to get out whatever it is that is holding them down. And so because of that, because of me seeing this over the years, because of me having this experience of individuals who would, just gravitate to me and want to share, and want to release and just need somebody to listen. I knew this was perfect podcast for me to share, to let people know it is okay. It is okay to release and share, especially to individuals who you can trust and people who are professionally trained to help you and to assist you. That is so important. That is so important. Please, ladies and gentlemen, it is so important for you to understand that if you need to, then do it. Then do it. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Don't let them shame you into not getting the help that you need. Don't let them try to pull you down, belittle you, or judge you. That's the perfect word. Don't let anyone judge you to tell you that, you're not doing something right. And I hate that. I hate saying hate, but I hate that. I hate that I've heard people say, that they were told they're not doing something right. That's why they are in a certain situation that they're in, especially when it comes to mental health. And it's just not fair. It's just wrong. So don't let anyone do that to you today. I want you to wake up and be grateful that you are alive and that you do have another opportunity to get it right and to reset. I want you to take care of your physical. I want you to take care of your emotional and mental health. I want to make sure that any type of resources that you need, reach out, find the resources. I am limited to what I can share here on this podcast, but, I will attempt to, if someone wants, I will definitely attempt to, share different numbers and websites that I know that you guys can, look at that would help you to at least get started. But when it comes to even the physical, go to your local doctor's office, hospitals, get your checkups, get your annuals done. I don't know why we avoid that. I spoke to a doctor about that, and the doctor just said that, we're just human. That's just what we do. Nobody really runs in, to do that. So it's something that we avoid, but do it. Do it. Because there's a lot of things that, it becomes more of a issue when you don't address it early. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of our physical health, our mental health, and our emotional health. Listen, God bless you guys. I love you. But most importantly, God loves you more. You have been listening to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cookall. God bless you and have an outstanding day.